Let's have a look at Ember. Ember is a language which is inspired by Smalltalk, and well, I like that. So let's have a look. So this is the homepage of Ember, emberlang.net. There is some documentation showing you how to install and so on from here. And basically, there is also a Kickstart project to start things up. So first of all, you need to have some stuff installed, npm node, because Ember uses Node as a backend, so Node.js. We need to download it, so we'd like to install. You'll get an installer, you execute it, and so on. And at the end, you should have Node running. Well, it's already installed on my box. I'll be using MinGui32 and msys console, but if you have git bash or similar, it would be fine. So if I say node, I would have a node prompt, so it would be okay. Now, where are we? Okay, I'll go into Screencast directory, so we can get a copy of the GitHub project, but also you need to have npm working, which apparently is correct here. Once you have git and these things working, you can first install the bower command. So npm install gbower. So it will get through a lot of stuff. It's already installed in my box, so no need to reread everything. Links, so we get bower installed. Then you need to have, let's say, the project itself. The -J is to have bower installed globally. So now let's clone this project. So we go here, get a little copy of the path. So git clone and this thing. Okay, we have this thing. Now we have Ember Kickstart. Let's get there. All right. What do we have in this directory? We have a JS folder and a ST folder. In fact, with Ember, the code we write is stored under ST folders and is then compiled into JavaScript. So if we look here, you have a mypackage.st, which would be Ember Smalltalk code. And then if you go inside the JS, you would have the JS equivalent, which is the compilation result. Okay, now we need to install some of stuff in here. So we have bower, we have cloned. Now we need to install Ember so that we can work. Let's do this. Let's say bower. So bower should work. So if you click that, it works. So bower install Ember -- save. So it would install Ember locally in this folder, Ember Kickstart. So it gets the stuff. Okay, we have now Ember. You can see, oops, that everything is now in bower components. So let's have a look here. Bower components. There we get Ember itself. With also here command line interface and interesting elements. So Ember client line interface and so on. You have in support a number of things we can include in files and so on. And yeah, alias is the IDE. But we shouldn't care much about this at this point. And we have also dependencies we use in Ember. So now Ember is here. So if we write Ember, we have something. So we could do Ember REPL, and you get the REPL loop. Say Q. Okay, get out. but because what we want is to use Ember for serving web pages. So Ember serve. Oh yeah, they already have some kind of Ember running somewhere, node. So build 756. Okay, are you there? No, so should work better now. Okay, so you have the file server running on HTTP, localhost, port 4000. So this node.js serving the Ember code. So now if I go to HTTP, not Gmail, HTTP localhost 4000, I'll get my first Ember project. So let's put that on the side. And if I click on Ilios IDE, I would get this opening up. While in Chrome, you have to add localhost as a site that can open pop-ups, otherwise it will just fail. So we have here the development environment and here the application. This is here a button which is created, and if we look at the source of this page, you see that we have the Ember components here, Ember for support for Ember. We have here some mantras for saying that we have the source in one place and the JavaScript in another one, and we are going to work with Ember development. All this is calling the magic to get Ember running, and here we have an Ember project. So this button on click would have the counter and try example method that would be invoked. So here you see it's a JavaScript call, and we are going to see where this is connected to the Smalltalk code. So if we go into the tools here, we ask for class browser. An alternative is to click in this area. So let's say I would go from here. You have the class browser and you see all the packages that are making up your system. One is examples, and in examples you have one class here which is counter. It happens that this counter class is exactly this counter class we have here. So when you say require Ember VM / Smalltalk, it's a require JS dependency, and it means okay, we are going to look inside this system here. We are looking for this class counter, which happens to be here, and we are going to call try example. Try example, right? Do we have anything here? So these are the protocols that are grouping the methods. So if I look at the actions, I see 2, initialization is there, and rendering is there. So I would have everything in all. Then now there is no try example, yeah, because it's in the class side. So you have instance side and class side. So go here, counter. Here I have try example. All right, I got this ready. But there is no underscore. Yeah, because when you look at Ember code, what is going to be generated in JavaScript includes underscores before methods like this. And also you have the parenthesis, which is the invocation in, let's say, JavaScript, but it's not the way it works in Smalltalk, because it would be more like that here. So if we look at the rendering of the page, I can click on counter, and so it would invoke counter try example. Let's do this. Up, I get this rendering. If I click there, or there, of course, everything happens in my page. It's a one-page app. Could have another counter, and they all work their own little life. So what's happening here? Try example. Okay. In fact, I would say here, try example. Self, new, okay. Create a new counter. Okay, self new, create a new counter. Append to jQuery, body as jQuery. Okay, what's that? First of all, we have body as jQuery. which give us a reference to the body tag. So let's say here, inspect element, I would have the body tag here. Okay, we have a reference to that, and see here a number of other counters that are appearing. So we are going to get this reference to body as jQuery, and we'll have append to jQuery. All right, what is this about? If you want to find about one given method like that, you can do a control space in Ember, and here you see you have find. So you could type the number, the letter, or click on the word, and I would say here find reference. So, well, find reference. Here it looks for the name here, but let's say append to jQuery. I will get to object. Here you see object append to jQuery, or widget append to jQuery. Okay, let's say here. So I would say a jQuery append self as string. Could work for other things. Anyway, self render on HTML canvas on jQuery a query, which is much more interesting for us because we have this important class, which is the widget class. And if you look at the counter, what is counter? Okay, this is the counter class, but an instance of counter is inheriting from widget. So widget is a very important class, and we can just look for maybe no, it wouldn't work. So if we look at widget, what's that here? No. Anyway, well, just if you want to know where it is, it's here. So you have the widget class, and okay, interfacing object, whatever that is, would have, and if you can click here, you see, you can just have some fun understanding what all these things are. So let's say what I want to know is about web widget, and here this widget can do this append to jQuery, append to brush. We may see that in other screencasts, but here append to jQuery a query. So self render on HTML canvas on jQuery a query. So we get, for example, our body as jQuery. So on this body would have a canvas to draw stuff, and we'll render on that query. Okay, that's how the render on is invoked on a widget. Fine. And what is render on doing? Well, basically here doesn't do anything, but render on HTML, and HTML is a canvas. And what's a canvas? Okay, here we have the HTML canvas. A canvas is something to build HTML. So like a canvas A would be an anchor, which would be a tag brush. A tag brush, you can do a lot of things with them. So for example, with something, and on click, do something. Good. So we have this counter example, which would have a rendering and render on HTML. We would have here HTML, which is a canvas, h1, which would be a brush. So if we go to web, would be here a tag brush. A tag brush would be here, should be something like h1, maybe. This side, not really. Maybe here. No. Interesting. Oh, okay, here. Fine. So in HTML canvas h1, this one is creating a tag brush. So we'd say self tag h1, and if we look at tag, they say here, there, would do some funny thing here. Well, as a user, you don't need to care much, but would say for, not widget, but for the counter here, run around. So create a brush from the canvas, and on that brush with count as string yourself. So this would create a H1 brush with this as the content, and yourself returns the instance, and so we can store it here in header. What's header? Header is an instance variable here which would keep the location of this number so that we can change it when we do the actions. And count actually contains the value. So if we look at the rendering, render on, HTML h1 with count string yourself, HTML button with this plus, so would say maybe if we can increase, and here decrease. This would be the text, and this would be the what is happening when you just click on it. This is not executed in this call, it would be executed when someone will click. So that's why what is called a block. Okay, I would say here I've just changed stuff, so I could just save it. Okay, save it. But saving is just saving here. If you want to save that's why this package is red. So if you want to save it on the backend, meaning on the server running here, you would have to commit it. So if you just do control space and you say here commit package, then it turns orange again, and this is clean. So now if I create a new counter, well, now this is new. Okay, so you see directly I can change that, save it, and just add a new counter, and oops, magic, it works. So this one is the way I like it. I would say counter. Okay, good. Now let's say I want this page again. Okay, everything is gone, but there, do you want to leave? No, stay there. And counter, good. So now we have this counter. I may want to I'd love to have the right click thing working. Okay, no, commit is good. Counter, rendering, render on, good, you understand this. Now what is going on in increase and decrease? So if you look at there, where increase, count is count plus 1, and the contents of header are now count as string. What's this? What is this? Okay, HTML the canvas and the canvas width. So meaning you would put the content of this HTML canvas pointer with this value. Now, this is not the canvas we were talking about in render on here, but it's rather the one which represents what is inside the header, because this called header contents is provided with a block, and this block has HTML as a variable, which you can use then to manipulate what's inside. So when we talk about this, it's a canvas for just this thing, and not the entire canvas that was for painting everything. One important thing also is the initialization. So if you do something with a widget, you need an initialize method, which is starting with super initialize, and we can say count is 0. So now if I put count is 10, I save it and I start with a new, why not? Interesting. Let's see. Okay, and what if I do this? Better. So that's good. And if we look at the widget, so which is in web widget, do we have anything? Initialize? No. Interfacing object? No. Object? No. So okay, maybe proto object has some initialize stuff one needs to do. Well, at the end of the day it does nothing, but well, it's good practice to do that. Let's get back to the example of the counter. Run around. Okay, so it's now pretty clear what is going on here. When you if I do, okay, that's working fine. If you wonder what this first IDE thing is, this was the old IDE. So alias ID is the new IDE, as you can see here, but the old one was like that. And here you have the same example here. It was counter with the code we changed, which is here. And all the there were other ways to do these things. The commit was here and so on. Maybe sometimes it's nicer to use that. There's also this search box, and all these features are being ported in this new look and feel. So if you look at the alias ID, there's a number of things that you can do. Is here, okay, commit package, nice, do it from there. Then you can also from here copy a class, move to a package, remove the class, rename the class. You can also here create new protocols, rename protocols, and so on. And from the methods here, you can also move methods to class, remove methods, and all things like this. Well, that's one thing. Now you can also have here what would be a workspace. Come on, a workspace. So a workspace is a space where you can do evaluation of expressions. I would say 10 plus 2, print it. I would get it directly. Can also say, for example, widget. And let's say, okay, browser widget, and I get directly the class. You also have interesting commands like open. So control space, open what? Open a browser. And you see that you can have multiple browsers open at the same time. So for example, here I would say in the class side of Fibonacci, I have a main method. So it's interesting to know what's going on. And you see here, you have console log. So if you ask for the JavaScript console, which I could get from here, okay, there's this little error message, but which is not an issue. It's a deprecation because you are moving things around. But let's say now I have this bench fib main. So in my workspace, I would say bench fib main and just do it. Do it, okay. While waiting, because this is testing the speed of the virtual machine. Oh, we have some issue here. Interesting. What's that? Does not understand. Okay, just demonstration bugs. What shouldn't happen here? Bench fib main. Okay. Well, anyway, if I were to do console log something, I could select a piece of text, just that's for doing it. Interesting. Console isn't there anymore for some reason. But if you have a variable like that and want to see what it is, you can click on inspect it. So if I click on inspect it, alright, there is nothing in there, which is quite annoying. We'll have to find out why. Okay, and what's using console, for example? Let's say find reference. Let's say console. We have console transcript, which is nicer than maybe console. So, okay, no, console transcript, show. Something new here. So let's say, let's browse this one. Is it what works? No. I would love to be able to get there. Find references to show. Console transcript test. Okay. Console transcript. Oh my. Or I can just say console transcript show. Let's try this one. Okay, here. Okay, do it. Damn it. No, let's have a look in the debugger. Debugger, okay. Console transcript class does not understand. So here, if I say, can I say browse from here? Yeah, maybe. No. What is a console transcript? This one here. Okay, so it should be a current or default or something. Okay. Oh, open. Printing. Show. Does that work? If I do this. Interesting. I think I will cut this piece, but okay. So back to our widget rendering, run around. We will now try to create our own little widget. So if I go to here, my package, which is the default package which is installed in the project for someone to start, you would have here my app. Okay, let's say I don't want this to be my app. I need this to be a widget. So okay, can save it. Beware it's not committed. So now what do I need if I am a little widget? I need a new method. And to create a new method, just get there. I would say initialize and super initialize. Okay, it's done. Good. You see that it's there. And you want to move to a given protocol. Let's say here. Oops. Oh, I want to rename this. Maybe from here. Initialization. Okay, good. Looks nice. Now I have another method, and I would say here render on HTML. You could name that the way you want. And then canvas would work, but HTML is much more intuitive. So I would say HTML h1 with what? Hello. Okay, save it. Good. Now I'd like to add this to the content on my web page. So I would maybe say it's like this. Hello happened to jQuery. Now this will work. Ooh. Why not? Yeah, because you want to add this. Save new, open to jQuery, body as jQuery, which is fine, and we don't need a parenthesis, but there's no reason why this wouldn't work. Wait a sec. Okay, I wonder why this isn't working, because this one here, we can look at it and we see exactly what we have in this thing. We have a lot of entries, so that's right. Now why this happened to jQuery for my hello isn't working. Let's see this again. Okay. No. So if I say do it, or maybe this is not in sync anymore. Let's check if I commit my package and I just close this and ask for this again. See if I say hello append to jQuery body as jQuery. This should be working. Alright, so there was some out of sync system because this is alright. So now back to our little app, which is okay. Forgot to. It's all gone, damn it. So widget, save it. Now initialize. Okay, and then render on HTML h1 with hello world. Save. Okay. Okay. Well, we'll work the protocol later. Now, if I say my app new append to jQuery, we should have hello world coming here, which is right. So where we get here, we may want to do some interesting stuff here, which would say other. Okay, well, why was this done here? The example. Okay. No, so first it's a lazy save. Okay. Okay, good. So in here, my app would render here, and I would maybe, let's say component 1 would be HTML1 with hello world, and I would have also component 2 should be an anchor with click me, on click, a block, self, react. Okay, so save this. Oh yeah, dot missing. Okay, nicer than that. You can also remove the doc if you want more space. Okay, save please. Component 1 is not defined. Alright. Do you want to define instance variable? Yes, I want to do this. Yes, I want to do this. Instance, no, I didn't want it instance. Yeah, I wanted instance here. So the instance variables are now defined here and variables. So it's pretty smart system. Now, okay, I have this one and this one. Let's see what this gives. If I add my app again. So add tag brush doesn't understand with on click. Of course, let's debug this. You see, I can directly debug my code because this is not a combined message. It's just we send first the with, which is the content, and then we cascade another message, which is the on click message. So I can save and I can say proceed, or maybe we start from here and proceed. Does not understand with on click. Yeah, sure. And what? Why not? Okay, forget that. And here, let's do this again. Good. But this is not an anchor. Which is the thing that was generated? It's click me. Okay, because you get this to work. Okay, let's click on this. All right, the look is not like an underlined link, but it's still a link. So you click on this and you see here, oh, my application does not understand React. But you can debug it and say, all right, you don't understand this? My app does not understand which message? React. Can I create this? Let's dive. Ah, interesting. Now I would expect to have a create proposal, but it's not there. So let's say browse this my app. Not really. For the workflow, it's not there yet, but okay, let's say here it doesn't understand React, meaning that we need to put it here. React. We could maybe do something, and here, let's say header, contents, which would say HTML with changed. So save. Header is not, yeah, because it was component 1. Okay, save. Good. So then now if I click here, yeah, it changed. So let's add a new my app, hello world. If I click on it, changed. Good. So this is working. Okay, I think we have seen all this structure, and now I should commit this package. So commit the package, commit successful. And if we go looking inside the code base, let's do a new here. So if we get inside st, you see my package st, which contain the code we just did. So when you commit, that's where it goes. And here we have my package.js, which contain all the working things we do for a system. So now if I close everything, leave this page, I take this one, just close, get a new tab, get back to a new page. If I go to Helios IDE, go to class browser, I go to my package, my app should have the new code still there, which is okay. And here, if we want to remove the dock pane, that's how it would work. Okay, thank you for watching. Next time we'll have a look at other tools like SUnit, but it looks like this is buggy at the moment. You have also the help thing, which is not really there. So at this time we have the workspace and the browser.